When I was a mortician, I saw a lot of broke men living alone in a one bedroom studio apartment, who died alone. Guys don't tell y'all what really happens. Okay. So they always say y'all and die alone or die with their no. Women are surrounded by children, nieces, nephews. Men usually die alone in their own studio apartments, living, you know, from hand to mouth. Men usually die like that. They're not surrounded by a bunch of family because they've literally abandoned a lot of family, or they weren't able to cut it. So a lot of these guys usually die alone. And they have to have like people come and identify their body because they didn't rot it away in their apartments because nobody came to check on them, or the only way that they knew that they were missing is because their job called and they didn't show up for work, or something like that, or they didn't pay the bills or the rent on time and people came looking for 'em. So a lot of these men who are saying that, well, y'all are gonna die alone, are literally dying alone. So we don't really, like, women are usually surrounded by family. And because they are the matriarchs of their families mostly. Okay. Very seldom will you ever see a patriarch family in the family surrounding, these men and things like that. It's mostly the women. Okay. You said they're projecting, exactly. And another reason why, men usually want to get married the older that they get because they fear dying alone. Okay. Women don't really have that fear because they are constantly surrounded by nieces, nephews, grandchildren. They're the matriarchs of the families. They hold the holidays and, they host the holidays and all this kind of stuff. So they don't really fear that. Men fear that. And so they want to be included in somebody's family and somebody's, gatherings and things like that.
You find the real deal in the comment section. So this is some of the comments talking about Menz being found alone. My mom's neighbor laid up gone for a week. The only reason he was found is because my mom called the police for a welfare check after his mail started blowing into her yard. He had already chased his wife and kids off prior due to drinking. I know another guy whose dad was gone for 2 weeks before being found. So loved, huh? Men, y'all better stop projecting, stop drinking, and start pouring into your relationships. There's so many of these comments. Hold on. This literally happened to a family member. He was dead for 2 weeks. I had an estranged uncle just like that, and he constantly shamed women in real life and online about their expiration date. He passed bitter and alone. My brother is bitter and alone, 55 now, so angry and bitter, no kids, divorced. This actually happened in my condos last year. We only knew because it smelled, but no one checked on him for 2 weeks. My uncle passed away like this. His doctor called the police because he didn't see him in a while. They found him in his apartment. He never married. Oh my God, this just happened to a family member. He was gone for 2 months and no one knew it. Both of my uncles died alone. Took weeks to find. They had very little contact with family. Very sad. Both of my parents, born on June 1st, were evil and thankfully died alone. My father luckily died with a wife he only knew for a few years. I wasn't there and didn't attend his small funeral. My dad died like this. He missed rent. My message to ladies, keep working on yourself, stay as healthy as you can, build up those relationships with your family members, your children, your friends, create strong bonds. Yeah, make sure you are calling people, pouring into people, supporting people, because you never know, but we don't want to go out like this. And we know that they are projecting, but let's protect ourselves. We all will die alone, but how we are loved in the end is important. And we don't want to be one of the people that are decomposing for a month before someone even thinks to think about us or when the rent is due. So anyways, jump in the comments. Tell me what you think. Like, comment.